Jey Uso has WWE fans talking. In this video, I'm going to tell you exactly what he had to say, why they're talking, and why it's so significant, and why you should care. Because Jey Uso, he's following along what's going on Friday Night SmackDown. Sure, big things are happening for Jey Uso on Monday Night Raw. Obviously, winning the IC title recently from Braun Breaker, making a recent title defense over Xavier Woods. Friday Night SmackDown, on the other hand, though, his family continues to battle. The bloodline storyline, the saga, if you will, continues. Most notably, most recently, Bad Blood, right? Roman Reigns teaming up with undisputed WWE champion Cody Rhodes to battle Jacob Fatu and Solo Sikoa. We had the return of Jey Uso helping Roman and Cody win. After the match, Bloodline starts to beat down Cody Rhodes, but it was Roman Reigns and Jey Uso, who are clearly babyfaces now, coming to the rescue of the same man who dethroned Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. Jey Uso also got to see the return of the great one, the final boss, The Rock. He returned to tell everyone to turn his music back on, and then left, and then cut an amazing promo in the parking lot. Jey Uso's seen all of this. People have always wondered, would Jey Uso return to the bloodline? Would he come to the aid of Jimmy Uso, his brother? Would he come to the aid of OTC? Keep in mind, he is just months removed after WrestleMania, where him and Jimmy Uso had a god-awful match. That match absolutely sucked. And it was a shame, because fans had been wanting to see what would it be like for Jey Uso to battle his brother Jimmy. What would a singles match between the great Uso brothers, one of the greatest tag teams in the history of the business, look like? And it sucked. So what does Jey Uso have that has fans talking? Well, it's actually very simple. I posted this up on Wrestling News Co. And Jey Uso, while removed from the bloodline, he has continuously teased potential new members coming to the bloodline saga. You have the likes of, Zilla Fatu out there and others. And he was speaking with Muscle Man Malcolm, and he was asked about the potential growth of the bloodline in the future. And he said, "I'm never going to say never, especially in this business. Our family is deep. Our bloodline is really deep. I'm talking cousins. I'm talking about 10, 15-year-olds who are ready right now. We deep. Eyes open. We're always going to keep this family business rolling," end quote. Very interesting there. Let's break it down. We're deep. Yeah, that bloodline, that family tree is very deep. There is nothing like the Samoan dynasty, in which has impacted the pro wrestling business for decades. Keep your eyes open, essentially what he's saying. Eyes open, meaning, hey, we're deep. You never know who's going to show up next. Look, they've signed the Tongas. They've signed Jacob Fatu. They have positioned Solo Sikoa as the new tribal chief, for God's sakes. Clearly, Jacob Fatu is better than Solo. It's funny, because for months it was, okay, Solo Sikoa, he's the enforcer for Roman Reigns. And when that time comes, what it's going to be like to have Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa going at it. Coming out of WrestleMania 40, right? Rock, Roman, they teamed up. Night 1, they went over Cody. They went over Seth. All right, night 2, Cody Rhodes goes over. He dethrones Roman Reigns, undisputed WWE champion. We're going to have Roman take off. He's going to be away for months. We're going to have Solo Sikoa. He's going to take Roman's spot as the tribal chief. That's exactly what happened. But then they brought in Jacob. And there was a report by, I believe it was WrestleVotes, before Jacob Fatu made his debut, stating WWE officials, they are impressed with Jacob Fatu. They think Jacob Fatu can be bigger than Solo Sikoa. He has more potential than Solo Sikoa. And guess what? That's exactly what happened. He's more charismatic. He has more of a presence. He's a better in-ring worker. Now, we haven't got to see much of his promo ability, but does it really matter? When you have multiple check boxes checked off, does it matter whether or not you can cut a promo? You can always get someone who can talk for you. Look at Brock Lesnar. Right? So, this is going to be very interesting, because we originally thought it was going to be, okay, Jay's going to have his singles run, then we're going to have Roman versus Solo at WrestleMania 41. We're going to have Rock, Cody, WrestleMania 41, WrestleMania 42. Finally going to be Roman versus, it'll be Roman versus, I just blanked. Roman versus The Rock. I don't know if it's going to lay out like that. I think we could absolutely get Roman versus Jacob Fatu at WrestleMania 41, and then you do Rock versus Roman WrestleMania 42. I could see that. Now, in the meantime, where does Jey Uso lie in all this, right? Do you bring him over and get into this? You got War Games coming up. Survivor Series, we're most likely going to get Bloodline versus Bloodline, right? Roman, Jimmy, probably Cody Rhodes. Well, no. You could do Cody Rhodes, although they are building a Kevin Owens feud. So let's just lock it in. It's Roman and Jimmy. Well, you need a few other guys to take on the Tongas, Jacob Fatu and Solo Sikoa. I would expect Jey to come in and help out the Bloodline. Now, who do you get for your fourth member? I heard a pitch from Solid Monster, and he came up with the idea of you paired Jey and Sammy as a tag team, more of an alliance than ever, and then you have, them challenge or go for the tag team titles together, and they intertwine with the Tongans, and that's how you get Jey and Sammy into this, right? Or it could be a situation in which the Bloodline, this is what I think, you have the Bloodline just beat down Jimmy and Roman, 2 weeks in a row, and then Jay's like, I can't deal with this. And you can even do programming on Monday Night Raw where Sammy goes up to Jey and goes, hey man, have you been seeing what's happening to your family on SmackDown? Like, how much longer are you going to let this go? You could definitely milk it and be like, you could bring in that real life situation of, hey, this is what's going on. Are you paying attention to this? Do you see what's going on? Are you going to do anything? And that can wear down on Jey and get into his emotions and him being like, you know what, screw it. I'm going to go and I'm going to help them. There are ways that you can do this. It's just a matter of how do you get there? When do you do it? How do you do it? Kind of thing. And I can see Sammy, because he's not going to do anything for a while, right? He can't go after the IC title. That's Jey. That's babyface versus babyface. They already have an alliance. He just lost to Gunther. So what is he going to be doing? Who's going to be next for Jey? So there's a lot of things in there and a lot of things in play. And I'm very curious to see how everything shakes up and shakes down, because they have something very, very special with the Bloodline storyline. And I just hope and I expect Jey Uso, for him to be a part of it.